The United Nations caves in to Palestinian demands. A Minnesota woman is pulled over by a cop and ticketed for drinking coffee. And which presidential candidate has received more donations from major CEOs than any other? Surprise, surprise, it's the people's champion, Hillary Clinton. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com, and on Facebook, and on YouTube, and on Tumblr, and in the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, we are broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM, The Lion. Our call-in number, 877-254-7524. My friends, here's the news of the day. Item from the Associated Press, Dateline, D.C. Vice President Joe Biden will not run for president in 2016, he said on Wednesday, ending a months-long flirtation with a third White House campaign and setting him on a glide path toward the end of his decades-long political career. Unquote. Well, my friends, this is terrible news. I was very much looking forward to voting against this horse's ass. Now I'll have to vote against a different horse's ass, Hillary Clinton. Item from CNBC. Hillary Clinton has received more donations from CEOs than any Republican candidate so far this year, according to a big crunch analysis of the last complete batch of individual Federal Election Commission records. More than 760 people have given to Clinton's campaign and identified their occupations as CEO or a variation of chief executive. That's about as many CEO backers as Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz combined. Unquote. My friends, Hillary tells so many lies it's hard to keep track of all of them, but many of the lies she tells are about how she and her husband are just plain folks, common folks, just like you and me, trying to help the common man because they're one of us. Now, I didn't call her a pig-faced liar this time. Someone else did. No, wait a second. That was me. Item from the New York Post. A Saudi Arabian prince is accused by 3 female staffers of acting like a bizarre party boy, engaging in a gay sex act in front of them, threatening a woman's life, demanding that an assistant, I'll say pass gas, in his face while others watched, and declaring, "I am a prince and I do what I want," unquote, according to a report. Prince Majed bin Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who's the son of the late King Abdullah, allegedly engaged in the lurid behavior at his $37 million mansion in Beverly Hills, according to a lawsuit filed by a trio of women who work for him there, the Daily Mail reports. The lawsuit accuses Al Saud, 29, of being drunk and on drugs and of making crude sexual advances on men and women alike. Stop! Now, my friends, I am not an expert on Islam. I just know the gruesome parts, which is most of it. But I do know that homosexuality not only is forbidden by Sharia law, but I know that, because I've seen the videos on YouTube, that they take homosexuals and either hang them or crucify them or throw them off roofs. Well, this guy's a Muslim, and here's eyewitness testimony that he's engaging in homosexual sex. Doesn't that mean it now becomes the duty of every Muslim on the planet to kill him? I'm just asking a question. Just asking a question. The prince is accused of getting on top of one woman and grinding on her in a sexual and aggressive manner. He also allegedly threatened the life of another woman after she refused to party with him, the report said. The Prince of Saudi Arabia, where gay acts are punishable by death, was also witnessed romping with a male aide, whom the women saw. I'll leave that part out. And he's accused of making one of the women watch him while he had a male aide, I'll say pass gas, in his face. When he was challenged on his behavior, he allegedly shouted out, "I am a prince, and I do what I want. You are nobody. Stop." My friends, if I didn't know those words were coming out of his mouth, I would have thought they were coming out of the mouth of someone like Hillary Clinton, although she might have said princess. But the fact of the matter is this. Why is this degenerate worthy of your time and mine? Well, I'll tell you why. First of all, it gives a lie to the fact that big-time Muslims are interested in living according to Muslim law. They're not. They use that as a political wedge. They use it as a weapon. They use it as a foot in the door. They use it so they can cry victim. Really, they have no desire to live according to Sharia law. Number two, American presidents and legislators, but mostly presidents, have had this disgustingly friendly relationship with Saudi Arabians for decades. And I want to know why it continues and why it stops. Here is a barbaric culture. They pay terrorists billions of dollars. Their behavior is something straight out of the Dark Ages. And you always see them walking hand in hand with United States presidents. Why? I want to know why. I also want to know why the oil that Saudi Arabia has isn't our oil. Our country's deeply in debt, right? We need oil, all the oil we can get and all the revenue we can get. Well, Saudi Arabia is sitting right there. It's a terrorist sponsor. As far as I'm concerned, that means that we're free to take whatever of theirs we want. And if we don't do that, I want to know who's responsible for not doing that. And if I were president, you can save your right in ballots. I'm not running. But if I were president, I would abscond with all the oil in Saudi Arabia, and just to let them know we'd been there, I would blow up a mosque or two. Maybe the Kaaba. Item from the GatewayPundit.com. A middle school principal in San Francisco shocked her local community by suspending student council election results because she felt the winners lacked diversity and were too white. Unquote. My friends, if you've never had any experience with liberals, first of all, you're lucky. Second of all, let me bring you up to speed. Liberals are racists and hypocrites, and if you don't believe me, all you have to watch is what they say and, more importantly, what they do. Liberals will be out in the street screaming about racism. Well, here's a middle school principal who suspended elections because there were too many white kids being elected to office. Too many kids from the same race. What if there were too many black kids being elected? Or too many Asian kids? Or too many Hispanic kids? Would she then have turned over the results of an election? So liberals don't really mean they want an end to racism. They mean they want racism to go the way they say it should go. Which is why I believe, as many people do, that liberalism is not a viewpoint. It's a mental disorder. It's Wednesday. Riell Truth. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth. Well, it had to happen. The Colorado legalized marijuana. Most people thought the Green Earth was a marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Kipling Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-70. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Kipling Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Herb Supplements. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution.
All right, then. As long as we got that settled. Welcome back. I am still Howard Riell. The show is still called Riell Truth. My Facebook page is still Riell Truth Radio. Go there, use it, share it, read it, talk about it. It's good stuff. Fox News, Sean Hannity. Muslims want Sharia law in non-Muslim countries. His guest is someone who's been a guest on this show, Robert Spencer. Here we go.
Welcome back to Hannity. Shocking new video from documentary filmmaker Ami Horowitz reveals that some American women living in Minneapolis would prefer Sharia law right here in Minneapolis. and such, and the extremism of ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Nusra, other stuff. And these two tsunamis that are destructively attacking us day and night, they are providing equally for one another, but then we are paying the price, and it's so much of injustice, so much insult, so much fear, so much dispossession, and it's not fair. I mean, shows needs some understanding. All this propaganda, exaggeration, and generalization, and assumption, it is not easy to say. Think about the violating the Sharia. Think about the limit of freedom of speech, Robert Spencer. We see it on tape. Do we have to, one more second, Robert Spencer, do we have to consider that people must agree or separate? They must agree with American law, American values. That's the American kind. That's the legal story. This used to be taken for granted among immigrants. This used to be something that was a matter of course. My grandparents were very, very proud to come to the United States and become Americans. And all the people who came with them knew that coming to the United States meant coming to America, becoming American. Now it's a very different case. There have been 4 separate and independent studies in mosques in the United States conducted since 1998, and they all came to the identical result that 80% of mosques in the U.S. teach the superiority of Sharia over constitutional law and the necessity ultimately to replace one with the other. They are all fact-based. They are all based on a study of what is actually taught in these mosques, and they show that this is a major problem. These guys in all these videos, they're not an isolated case. They are the vast majority of the Muslims. There's no doubt in that. Mr. Sponsor, first of all, we know, unfortunately, the history of U.S. Islamophobia, and I don't want to go into the details of that matter. But first of all, there's some shortcomings. There's some John, I watched this video. First of all, there are hundreds of thousands of Muslims who are serving this country in the hospitals, the universities, in the schools, in the business area. Instead of going on the street and talking about unity, why we are not talking to the right people to unite? That's the question.
My friends, a Muslim won't give you a direct answer unless he's invoking the Muslim practice of taqiyya, which means lying in order to gain an advantage over a non-Muslim. So their choices, when confronted with facts, as Robert Spencer is doing, their choices are 2. Number 1, deflect, talk about something else. Number 2, lie. Oh yeah, these are people we want to keep bringing to America. Absolutely. Let's listen to this for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, if there are people constitutional values. Well, what we believe, and that is the thing that to teach Muslims, no, let me give you the previous answer. Let me say that. Well, first of all, the whole concept of discussion of Sharia is a needless nonsense, waste of time, because we've already learned as Muslims
All right, guys, let's do this. Here's a suggestion. We need to move this national discussion forward, so let's do this. 80% of the mosques are preaching superiority of Islam. They're pushing for Sharia. We also know from other sources they're dispensing jihad literature, jihad sermons, what have you. And as Robert Spencer says, no one in our government, no one in our law enforcement community is shutting them down. So what do you say we begin jailing the people in our government and our law enforcement communities who are failing to do their jobs? They're taking salaries, they're taking tax money under false pretenses. They're being paid for services and not delivering them. That sounds to me a lot like fraud, to say nothing against treason against the American people. If they are in law enforcement and if they are legislators, they have a job to do, which is to shut down the mosques that are preaching jihad. If they won't do it, number one, they should be removed from their jobs. Number two, they should be jailed for taking money fraudulently. Item from the DCClothesline.com. We just got more evidence that the middle class in America is dying. According to brand new numbers just released by the Social Security Administration, 51% of all workers in the United States make less than $30,000 a year. Let that number sink in for a moment. You can't support a middle-class family in America today on just $2,500 a month, especially after taxes are taken out. And yet more than half of all workers in this country make less than that each month. In order to have a thriving middle class, you've got to have an economy that produces lots of middle-class jobs, and that simply is not happening in America today. Unquote. That's because the Obama administration has intentionally torpedoed the United States economy, hobbled it, brought it low, and I'd like to see some law enforcement agencies investigating that. Item from TeaPartyCrusaders.com. Abu Ammar Yasir Qadi, a Memphis imam based in Tennessee, preaches openly about what Islam truly is. He makes no bones about thinking that anyone other than a Muslim does not deserve anything and are less than Muslims. In fact, part of Yasir Qadi's preaching includes rhetoric that says non-Muslim lives are forfeit and their property is legal for Muslims to take in jihad, and this would include women as sex slaves. Recently, Yasir Qadi said, quote, Jews and Christians filthy. Their lives and property can be taken in jihad by the Muslims, unquote. My friends, we've got to ban Islam, we've got to shut the mosques, and if we don't, then we, not these barbarians, then we are responsible for what befalls us. Item from Infowars.com. Finnish cops, that's cops in Finland, have been ordered by the country's National Police Board not to publicly identify migrants as criminal suspects over concerns that doing so would encourage a racist backlash against the wave of asylum seekers entering Scandinavia. The new guidance, reported on by Finnish news outlet Italheti.fl, is designed to prevent negative attitudes being attached to asylum seekers, as well as maintaining law and order and a sense of security by not radicalizing local populations who are opposed to migrants entering the country. By keeping the migrant status of the suspect confidential, the police board hopes that crimes committed by asylum seekers will, quote, not stir up anger, unquote. In other words, the folks over in Finland are scared stiff and they daren't lift a finger for fear of bringing Muslim rage on themselves. Well, the Finnish government's got the guns, right? They're going to learn how to use them. We'll be back.
If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Paris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic.
In the film 2016, I advanced what seemed to be a
Are away from their parents less than 5 minutes when they disappeared. Your awareness could mean the difference between life and tragedy. Keep an eye out. The phones are referred to help keep our children safe. This is from Front Range Roofing LLC. Call 970-353-2322 for quality service, guarantee. been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of Him and cried out, saying, This was He of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for He was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
Alrighty then, Howard Riell Truth, you're getting an earful today. Now, I've already talked about the fact that Barack Obama wants to take America down, wants to cripple, to hobble America. Give the devil his due. He's done a wonderful job. Here is filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza, also talking about Obama's plans to cripple America. Let's listen.
In the film 2016, I advanced towards the idea of outlandish fable of a man who had died in an colonial philosophy of rocket science. And this act of Obama's will what it amounts to. Not only explains what it is, but it allows us to foretell and anticipate
Well, my friends, that is very well put, and it's very, very true. By the way, I posted this video on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Go there and watch it. There's just about a half a minute left before I cut it off. Send it to everybody you know because they need to know. The geniuses who voted for Barack Obama voted an enemy into the White House, which explains so very much of what the hell has happened in this country in the last 7 years. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Riell Truth does what it always does. It marches on. We'll be back. All right, guys, I'm about to stop the video. Do indeed go to my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Lots of good videos, lots of good articles, lots of things you need to see. Don't just see it. Learn it. Share it. Get the people you know talking about this stuff, because talking about it is the first step to doing something about it. On that note, I will see you tomorrow. Hasta luego.